I followed my husband for 2 hours. I thought I was crazy for doing that. I thought he was just going for a meeting. But what I found at the end of that dirt road broke me into a million pieces. My name is Neka. I live in a mansion in Lagos. My husband David is the perfect man. Or so I thought. He travels every weekend for business in the East. He tells me, "Baby, I'm working hard for our future." I believed him. I packed his bags. I even prayed for his safety on the highway. But on Friday, David made a mistake. He left his other phone, the cheap Nokia he keeps in his glove box, on the kitchen counter. When I picked it up, a message came in. It wasn't a client. It just said, "Papa Jr., come quick. The baby has a fever." Papa Jr.? My hands started shaking. I didn't call him. I got in my car and I waited down the street. When David drove past, I followed him. He didn't go to the office. He drove past the city limits. He drove deep into a village I had never heard of. He stopped in front of a small, unpainted bungalow. My heart was pounding so loud I could hear it in my ears. Then I saw her, a woman, Bisola. She came out tying a wrapper, looking tired but happy to see him. And on her back was a baby that had my husband's exact nose. David didn't shake her hand. He hugged her. He kissed her forehead. He took the baby and threw him in the air, laughing a laugh he hasn't shared with me in years. I realized then I wasn't the only wife. I was just the financier. The city wife used for image, while his heart lived here in this village hut. I didn't step out of the car. I didn't scream. I recorded a video and I drove home. When he returned on Sunday, acting tired from work, I cooked his favorite soup. I smiled. I massaged his feet. He thinks he is safe. He thinks I am a fool. But he doesn't know that the divorce papers are already on his boss's desk, along with the video evidence. He wanted 2 lives. Now he will have none. I sat in my car for 30 minutes after recording that video. My hands were shaking so hard I couldn't even put the key in the ignition. I didn't cry because I was sad. I cried because I felt stupid. I built this man. When I met David, he was wearing a worn-out shirt and sharing a one-room apartment with 2 friends. I polished him. I introduced him to my father. I gave him the managing director seat at our logistics company so he could feel like a man. And this is how he pays me back? By building a kingdom for another woman with my bricks? I drove home. I didn't confront him that Sunday. I waited. A wise woman knows that you don't strike when you are angry. You strike when you are ready. For 3 days, I watched him. I watched him lie about client calls that were actually calls to her. I watched him smile at me while calculating how much money to transfer to the village. On Wednesday, I made my move. I waited until he was eating dinner, the expensive afang soup he loves so much. I placed his phone on the table. Next to it, I placed the brown envelope containing the company audit and the divorce papers. "David," I said softly, "who is Papa Jr.?" The spoon dropped from his hand. Clatter. Silence. He looked at the phone, then he looked at me. For a second, I saw the fear. But then something worse happened. He didn't apologize. He got defensive. He stood up and slammed his hand on the table. "So you have been snooping? Is that what a good wife does? You invade my privacy?" "Privacy?" I laughed, a cold, bitter laugh. "David, you lost your right to privacy the moment you used our joint account to pay for Bisola's rent. You think I don't know? The blue bungalow, the baby, the weekend trips." He froze. Then he tried to flip the script. The classic weapon of a guilty man. Yes, I have a son," he shouted. "And why? Because this house is cold, Neka. You are always busy. My company, my business, my money. Bisola respects me. She treats me like a king. She gave me a son, something you have been too busy to give me." That broke me. Not because it was true, but because he used my infertility, something we had cried about together in prayer houses, as a weapon to justify his cheating. I wiped a single tear from my face, and then the old Neka died. The boss was born. "You are right, David," I said, my voice steady. "I am busy making the money that you steal. You say she treats you like a king? Good. Let's see if she treats you like a king when you come to her as a pauper." I pointed to the door. "Get out." "You can't kick me out," he screamed. "I am your husband. Half of this is mine. Check the envelope, David. You signed a prenup. And the company? The audit shows you embezzled 15 million naira. I can arrest you, or you can leave quietly with your clothes. Choose." He looked at the papers. He looked at the security guards, stepping forward. He realized the game was over. He packed his bags in shame. 6 months later, I heard the news. When David went to the village empty-handed, without the SUV and the monthly allowance, his humble village wife wasn't so humble anymore. She left him for a local chief. Today, I am glowing. My business is booming. And David? He is somewhere out there, realizing that you don't trade a diamond for a stone just because the stone is easier to hold. They say you never know the value of water until the well runs dry. David didn't just let his well run dry, he poisoned it. It has been 3 years. 3 years since the divorce. While I was busy rebuilding my sanity, life was busy teaching David a lesson. I didn't know how bad it was until last Tuesday. I was stuck in Lagos traffic, sitting in the back of my G-Wagon checking emails. I looked out the window, and I saw a man hawking gala and soft drinks in the burning sun. He was sweating. His skin was burnt black. His clothes were torn. He was running after a bus, shouting for someone to buy a 50 naira sausage roll. I looked closer. My heart skipped a beat. It wasn't just a hawker. It was David. The man who used to wear Italian suits. The man who used to complain if the AC wasn't cold enough. Now, he was fighting conductors for change. I told my driver to wind down. "Buy from him," I said. David ran to the car, happy to make a sale. He handed the gala through the window. Then our eyes met. The gala fell from his hand. "Nika?" he whispered, voice cracked and dry. "Is this you?" I took off my sunglasses. "Hello, David." He didn't just cry. He collapsed. Right there in the middle of the expressway. "Nika, look at me," he screamed. "I am finished. Bisola left me. She took the last money I had and ran away with a mechanic. I am sleeping under the bridge. I am eating from dustbins. Please, I am sorry." I stepped out of the car. Traffic stopped. Everyone was watching. "I told you, David," I said softly. "You chased a skirt and you lost a crown." "I will serve you," he begged. "Take me back as a driver, as a gateman. I just want to eat." I was about to speak when another car door opened behind me. A hand rested gently on my shoulder. It was Tunde, my fiancé. Tunde looked at David on the floor, then at me. "Honey, is this man bothering you?" David looked up and saw him, tall, rich, smelling of expensive oud, holding me like the treasure he threw away. He saw the huge diamond ring on my finger, and the shame in his eyes was heavier than any punishment. "No, Tunde," I said with a smile. "He's not bothering me. He is just someone I used to know." I reached into my bag and pulled out a bundle of cash. I dropped it beside him. "Use this to find a room, David, but don't come back. The Nika you knew died the day you betrayed her." Tunde opened the car door for me. As we drove away, I looked back one last time. David was still on his knees, holding the money, watching his past drive away into a future he could never touch. Don't let anyone tell you that you can't start over. Sometimes you have to lose a David to find a Tunde.